Let's talk about this invisible wall that exists inside so many companies. You know the one? On one side, you have these brilliant data teams building incredibly powerful models. And on the other, you have business leaders making these huge, multi-million-dollar decisions. The problem is, that wall, it's costing companies a fortune in missed opportunities. Today, we're going to talk about how to tear it down.
Does that question right there resonate with you at all? Yeah, I thought it might. It's a frustration that you can feel in boardrooms and in server rooms, pretty much everywhere. In this explainer, we're not just going to talk about the gap, we're going to give you the actual blueprint to close it for good.
Because, real innovation doesn't happen when these two worlds just operate in parallel. It happens when they truly connect. We're going to explore how to build that essential bridge, the one that turns all that raw data into measurable, real-world results. Okay, so let's start by really diagnosing the problem. What does this divide actually look like on the ground, day to day?
Here's a perfect cautionary tale for you. A major US manufacturer built this incredible, state-of-the-art Customer 360 command center. It was a technical marvel. The result? The marketing team completely ignored it, never used it. Why? Well, from their point of view, it was clunky and just didn't solve their immediate problems. A massive investment that delivered, literally, zero impact. And that story really gets to the heart of the issue. You see, data science teams are often laser-focused on things like technical accuracy and building these really elegant models. But the business leaders, they're driven by ROI and market share. They are constantly, and I mean constantly asking, so what? What's the actionable so what behind all these numbers?
This difference in focus means the two sides are often speaking completely different languages. So let's break down why closing this communication gap is just so incredibly critical.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Data, for the sake of data, is totally useless in a business context. The only reason to analyze anything is to figure out what to do differently. The numbers themselves, they're just the starting point. The real value is in the action they inspire.
And this is where that crucial skill of business acumen comes into play. It's the ability to see beyond the spreadsheet and actually understand the entire business context, the competition, the customer needs, the big strategic goals. It's all about knowing the why behind every single data request.
Because without that business context, you end up with this exact scenario. A data scientist with a perfect key for the completely wrong door. They can spend months building a flawless model that solves the wrong problem, which is just a massive waste of talent and a huge missed opportunity.
Okay, so we've clearly defined the problem. Now let's shift gears and talk about the solution, which all starts with completely rethinking the role of the modern data scientist.
I absolutely love this way of framing it. The most valuable data scientists aren't just technicians, they're detectives. They don't just take an order and fulfill a request. They investigate it. They ask tough questions, and they dig and dig until they uncover the real business problem that actually needs to be solved. And this means the modern data scientist's toolkit is about so much more than just code. It's filled with skills like business acumen, the ability to truly listen to stakeholders, and the art of data storytelling, to make sure the findings don't just sit there, but actually inspire people to take action.
Here's a perfect example of what this translation looks like in real life. A business leader asks a super vague question. Why is our revenue down? Where do you even start? A data translator, a data detective, digs deeper. They work with the business to reframe that big, fuzzy question into a specific, testable hypothesis. Something like, have job listings from US tech companies decreased significantly in the past 6 months? Now that is a question you can actually go and answer with data.
So how do we create an environment where these translators can really thrive? Well, it's not just about hiring people with the right skills. It actually requires a whole new organizational structure. A really effective solution is what's called the hub and spoke model. It's this kind of hybrid structure that balances centralized expertise with deep business integration. It really gives you the best of both worlds. So here's the breakdown. The central hub is your center of excellence. They're the ones defining the vision, the tools, the standards. But the spokes? Those are the data scientists who are embedded directly within the business units. So you might have a data scientist literally sitting with the marketing team, working day in and day out on their specific challenges. This structure makes sure their work is always tightly aligned with real, on-the-ground business needs. All right, let's wrap this all up by looking at why building this bridge isn't just some nice to have. In today's economy, it is the ultimate competitive advantage.
I mean, the scale of this is just staggering. A few years ago, projections showed that job postings for data science and analytics roles would soar to nearly 3 million. This isn't a niche skill anymore. It's a fundamental pillar of the modern economy. And the demand isn't just for coders. It's for the people who can bridge that gap between technical skill and real business results.
And it's not just about hiring data scientists either. Get this. Nearly 70% of employers said they prefer candidates with data skills for all sorts of roles. That tells you everything you need to know. Data literacy is no longer optional. It's becoming a core competency for pretty much everyone. So it all comes down to this really simple but incredibly powerful equation. Technical data science skills are the engine, for sure. But when you combine them with deep business acumen, that's when you create the fuel for incredible innovation and growth. This right here is the formula for unlocking the true value of your data.
Ultimately, every single organization is sitting on a goldmine of data. The real question is whether you've built the bridge that allows your teams to ask the right questions and then turn those answers into real, measurable impact.